Alright, so this video is going to be me actually reacting to a video called Is It Okay to Be Gay? What Does the Bible Say? By Queer Theology. It is an old video, 5 years ago, but it's 3 minutes, 6 seconds long. And I just watched like maybe 10 seconds of it, and it opens up with him coming over to the screen saying that when he was a boy, he remembers walking into his room, closing the door, and looking for the word homosexuality. Or homosexual, something like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me make a video on this. Because I think it's hilarious that because the name or the title homosexual is not in the Bible, therefore it's ultimately okay. But we can see examples of what they practice in the homosexual life in scripture that is condemned and not natural. So this is Queer Theology, 5 years ago. Is it okay to be gay? What does the Bible say? Here we go.
I remember the first time I looked up homosexuality in the Bible. I grabbed my Bible off the bookshelf, closed my bedroom door, sat cross-legged on the floor, and opened directly to the index.
Okay, it says I sat on the floor, cross-legged, and opened up to the index. He had to mention he was sitting cross-legged. Okay.
H-O. I slid my finger down the page, passing holiness.
I like how he adds like the music to it and everything. Trying to make it like dramatic and everything. Trying to make it like official.
I remember passing holiness. I paused. I'm getting close. I checked to make sure the bedroom door was still closed. I slid my finger down further.
You what?
Homosexuality. Even looking at the word was terrifying. There were 5 pages listed. I flipped to the first one. It wasn't a specific verse, but rather a lesson box in my teen study Bible. I read it.
Alternative lifestyle usually refers to making a sexual choice. The impression is that any choice is alright. It's just a matter of preference. When it comes to sex, don't kid yourself about some of those choices being morally alright. It's wrong to have sex with any close relative, Leviticus 18:6-18. It's wrong to have sex with animals, Leviticus 18:23. It's wrong to have homosexual sex, Leviticus 18:22. If someone tells you that homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle, meaning that it's okay, don't let those words fool you. It's an alternative alright, a sinful one.
Why? So right now, so as a kid, he's went to his room, looked for the word, found it, and he's reading what the scriptures are saying, or the index, or whatever you want to call it, and talking about the word homosexual. And he's apparently just read whatever his study Bible was saying about relationships with family, animals, and then homosexual acts. And he even mentions like scriptures. So I want to go back. I want to read those verses.
Box in my teen study Bible. Leviticus 18:6-8.
Okay, so Leviticus 18. So this is Old Testament moral laws of sexual morality. When you study the laws, when it comes to scripture, there's moral laws, there's temple laws, there are the Mosaic laws, etc. So this is a moral law. And it's funny because this isn't like put into the Torah. This is the Lord speaking to Moses. So laws of sexual morality. Even verse 1 says, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, I am the Lord your God. According to the doings of the land of Egypt, where you dwell, you shall not do. It's the Lord speaking to Moses. So this verse is 6-18. So none of you shall approach anyone who is near of kin to him to uncover his nakedness. I am the Lord, the nakedness of your father. Okay, so this talks about family. All the way to 16. And yeah, so this verse, I think it's funny because this is like instead of just saying one example or a couple examples, it made it so clear because it gives so many examples of like you shouldn't be doing this with this family member or that family member or this family member, this family member, this family member. And it's like God's just kind of like, you have no excuse to even take my words out of context, you know? And this is what people do, is they take the Bible and they say it's not literal, and they try to twist it and say it's up to interpretation. The Bible is not up for interpretation. You read it and it is what it is. It's not Buddhism, it's not Hinduism, Taoism, it's not the Unitarian Church. It's the Bible, it's the scriptures that are written down where you can actually read it.
18. It's wrong to have sex with animals, Leviticus 18:23. It's wrong to have homosexual sex, Leviticus 18:22. If someone tells you that homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle, meaning that it's okay. Don't let those words fool you.
So 1822 I actually have written right here. Do not have sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman. That is detestable. And detestable comes from the word abomination. So abomination, detestable, same thing. It's like looking at scripture and reading the proud, you know, is detestable. Being proud and all that type of stuff. It's not saying you shouldn't be able to express your feelings and say, hey, I'm so happy I achieved this. No, it's like more like selfishness.
If someone tells you that homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle, meaning that it's okay, don't let those words fool you. It's an alternative, all right. A sinful one. Not good.
I don't like how he just denies
I
it.
flip back to the index. Surely the other pages would uncover some nuance or offer a different perspective. Back and forth I flipped from index to reference, each one the same. One last one. Surely this one would contradict the others, would tell me that it's okay, that I'm okay.
So he's trying to find something. He's looking at scripture and he's trying to find a verse in the Bible that will give him the go for being a homosexual. And this is what they do. So instead of just completely denying the scriptures and saying that the scriptures don't support what I do and what I believe, they then will take scripture and twist it and then say you can't trust it because people have interpreted scripture wrong over the years. And they don't recognize that they are the ones who are doing it and not me, as you can just read scripture and know what it means. So I mean, even Romans 1:26-28 says, because of this God gave him over to shameful lusts. Even the women exchanged. So now, not only just men. So Leviticus 18:22 mentioned the men. Now we have women being brought into this. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations. And Romans is New Testament. Leviticus is Old Testament. So it's telling you that these are moral laws. Moral laws never changed, okay? It is unnatural. It's immoral to do these things. So God gave them over to the shameful lusts. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women. So I love that. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. And we're seeing this now in culture. We're seeing this now in schools, where it's actually becoming more normal for this stuff to be taught in school. So, I mean, Romans 1:26-28, I think is as clear as daylight. You know, you can't look at that and say, oh, it's up to interpretation. It is what it is. It is what it is. Furthermore, just as they did, do not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God. So I love that. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over. So these people, in verse 28, it's basically making it very clear that because they rejected the law that Christ has put forth, the universal laws saying to procreate, have a family, raise a family, the structure of a family to husband, wife, children, even the structure of a church, okay? So even though, as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so they're completely rejecting God. They're saying, I don't need you, I don't need it. So God gave them over to depraved minds, so they do what ought not to be done. I love it. It's not up to interpretation.
But it's more of the same. Homosexuality is a sin. Gay people are choosing to live in sin. AIDS is the result of sinful behavior. Gay people can change if they want to. I close my Bible. I don't know what to do. There it is, written on the page. Crystal clear. No getting around it.
So he's strictly making it right now. He's proving Romans 1:26-28 as true. So right now, gay theology, they are not, I can even say this. Furthermore, just as gay theology did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to depraved minds so that they do what ought not to be done. How about that?
Sinful, abomination, damned. Who I like is sinful. Who I love is sinful. Who I am is sinful. Where could I possibly go from here? No, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm not seeing the whole story. That even though it seems so black and white on the page, there must be some shades of gray that I'm not seeing. There must be some explanation. There must be.
Look how dramatic it is.
and I'll find it.
So this whole video was a waste of time. What he did was make a case against his own practices and his own lusts. He started off as being open and trying to look for something and look for a topic. He then gets the answer in the scriptures, tells the scriptures that talk about the sexual morality that God has set onto this earth. And then at the end, he still doesn't give an answer to why or if it is okay to be gay. He gave an argument to why it's not okay to be gay. And then at the end, it's like, I'm gonna search for it. Okay. Well, that's this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time. And then also one more thing. I have a podcast about to be released on the Unitarian Universalist Church. I went to it, so I wanted to I was gonna make a video of it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a podcast of it. I'm gonna talk about it, biblically and from their perspective too, from what I'm reading on their websites and all that type of stuff, and the one up here in Sarasota. So I've been doing a lot of research on all of this. So, and I'm just finding it it's just nonsense. It really is. But besides that, comment below what you guys thought, and I'll see you guys next time.